What's up, guys? Jared Welch, Aaron Halterman, RacingDudes.com, here with you for a special announcement. We've been working on this for months, and it's finally time to release it to the public, the betting Bible. Now, it might sound crazy. If you're familiar with the racing guides that we've done on the site, we're basically giving it a kind of going through the things that we know that people want, taking out the things people didn't want, and really wanted to focus on something special, something new, something that people don't have, the betting Bible. And it's going to kick things off this weekend for the Louisiana Derby, the entire card at Fairgrounds. Halterman, take it away. Tell the people a little bit about how we developed this.
Yeah, so this is kind of going to replace the inside track wagering guides that we've done for years. And the biggest thing was we kind of looked at those guides and said, yeah, they're good. They've got a lot of information. They don't really narrow down specifically what you should do race by race. So that was the first thing we kind of thought of. Let's make this more friendly for the bettor, for the handicapper, for the guy that or gal that buys this and goes, okay, what do I do with all this information? So it's race by race analysis of bets and plays, and that's the biggest thing. What are we specifically playing on each day? Or on each race, I should say. So that was kind of the idea of it, kind of eliminate the fluff and make it all about, hey, here's the picks, here's what we're playing, here's what we recommend you play, and then you can take it from there and do what you want with it when it comes to that. So that was the big inspiration behind doing this is, yeah, those guides were great, but let's make it even better, and let's make it all about, hey, I bought the guide, now what am I supposed to do with it?
Yeah, and it felt like a lot of times with the guide, at least for me, it was like, okay, we got to do this, got to add this, got to change this, and before I know it, we're trying to get it released, and I haven't feel like I put enough time in to really give it a really good, solid handicapping. And it might be a race that I don't really like, but I'm going to go ahead and give picks and things like that, where it's like, I don't want to play it. Like, this isn't like what I think. This is what I'm betting. Like, this is, the actual bets I'm making. If I don't like a race, I'm skipping it. If I don't like 4 races in a row, I'm skipping it. And I'm going to save my money and save my bets for the races I do really like. And I'm going to explain that to everybody, within the guide. And that's what I think is so awesome about this. We're going to not only have all that, but you can track how we're doing, our ROI, how good have we done on these races? How good of it are you at hitting exactas and trifectas and pick 4s and pick 5s, and what are we really good at? What are we honing in on? Not only is it going to help you as a bettor and see what we like, but you're also going to help us. It's going to help us as handicappers, I feel like, to really look at it, and say, hey, these are the things I've been doing really well, and these are the things, I'm struggling with, and how can I change that? And so very excited to introduce this, and we thought, what better way than, we're not just going to put it out there. Let's show them what it is that we've developed here. And as you can see there is the cover of the betting Bible for this weekend, Fairgrounds, Saturday, March 25th. Exact tickets to bet, pick 4, pick 5 plays, pace projections, and ROIs are going to be included in this. Let's give you the first page here of the betting Bible of what you're going to see if you purchase this on this weekend, and what you would see every weekend or every time this is available. This is race 1 and race 2. You and I both have bets for these 2 races, and as you can see here on the page, we each are doing a $300 budget on each day that we're doing this. So we have $300 to play with in our bankroll. And you can just kind of go through and decide on what you like, what you don't like, how you're going to play it. And just because you like a race, you and I did it individually, so we didn't know what we were betting, and we just kind of filled it in here. You can see the projected pace analysis there as well. It kind of gives people an idea of how we think this is going to unfold. If you see next to, like, say, race 1, next to Halterman, he's got his numbers there. Those are his top 4 finishers, or who he projects to be his top 4. Those are mine next to my name there. So it kind of gives you a full look at the entire race from each of our standpoints.
Yeah, that's a big thing about it. If you don't want to follow exactly what we're doing race by race from a betting standpoint, we'll still have our top fours on there. So if you say, hey, I'm just an exacta player, well, you still have the top fours on there. You can create your exactas or trifectas if you're a trifecta player, superfecta, whatever. you still have that information. You still have the top 4 horses that him and I both like, Jared and I both like. And then you got the pace projections. Those are still there as well. So if you're a pace handicapper, you kind of got those projections of how we see the pace going. But again, if you want to know specific bets that we're doing on that day, that's what the commentary there is for, and that's what the listed bets are as well. You're also going to have a page, we won't show it today, that'll have a list of all the bets, just one single page. If you don't want to read through all of it, you say, hey, what bets are they making? We'll have a page that'll summarize that. You'll still have specific pick 4 and pick 5 plays as well. That'll be another page. Obviously, we won't show here because people are paying for it. Can't give it away for free. But we will have those pick 4s and pick 5s still for you on this guide as well. So again, it's most of the information as far as the picks and who we like as a top 4 and pick 4s and pick 5s are still there. But we've gotten rid of a lot of the fluff, of a lot of the stuff that really wasn't needed, and condensed this down into, hey, here's our picks, here's who we like, here's specifically what we're doing, and then here's our specific pick 4 and pick 5 plays there towards the end as well. So we've really streamlined this thing. We want to make it more about our performance. Here's what we're going to do with that $300 bankroll. And if you say you don't want to bet $300, you want to bet $100, well, you can just scale that down if you want to follow along, and cut those bets into thirds or halves or whatever you want to do. So, you don't have to have $300 specifically. If you're more or less or whatever, you can scale it. That's just kind of the guidelines that we're going to use with it. So we're excited about it. We're hoping to do this on a lot more cards as well on Saturday. Sometimes the guide will do 1 or 2 a month. We're here. We can almost do this every Saturday if we feel like it's going well and people enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's the way we've developed it. It's easier for us to go in and input the data. It's quicker. It's more streamlined. Less, frills and all the design aspects. It's more of like, boom, this is what we like. Here's who we like. Here's how we're betting the race. As I looked through, and I thought it was very interesting as I went through. You did it. You sent it over to me. I put mine in. And as I went through, the one thing I noticed was, and that's what I like about it so much is, I have more individual bets than you do. But so the way we kind of approach the card is where there were some similarities. You were more heavy on certain races, whereas I may have played thinner or played lighter tickets with the anticipation of hitting a bigger cash, right? You went a little bit heavier on races trying to hit that win or whatever. Whereas I pounded like more of like the exactas and things like that, trying to get bigger prices home.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. If you saw for our bigger guides, we would do bankroll articles where Jared and I's opinions would be together, which was great. We had fun doing it. But at the end of the day, there were races where maybe he made a concession that he didn't want to make, and then maybe I did one on another race. We're here. It's like, look, we're 2 different people. We have different styles. We can present that to the people in 2 different ways. And that's another big thing, motivation we had to kind of change up the guide. And if you buy the guide, you may look at Jared's betting style and go, well, that's kind of what I like to do, so I'll follow Jared. And the opposite. You may be like, well, I kind of lean heavier towards wins and kind of, stuff like that. I'll follow Aaron. And that's the key to to it. Get those 2 different opinions and you get 2 different styles. So we are very different in the way we bet. More so than the way we handicap, I would say. We're handicapping pretty similar, betting completely different at times. So, it just made sense to kind of give you 2 different opinions of the 2 main racing dudes. I mean, we are the owners of this website, so our opinion should be front and center on these guides. And I feel like that's kind of what we've done here. And again, why personally, I feel like this is the better thing that we've done. One of the best things we've done, I guess, probably the best way to put that. Guides were great. I think this makes more sense, though, from a betting standpoint.
Yeah, the goal here is to hopefully you guys can find this and use it every weekend and let it dictate. No, I wouldn't say dictate, but help you with your bets. Whether if you don't have time to handicap and you're just wanting to play what we've got here, and you one of us gets really hot lately, and you want to follow just our bets, just exactly how we have them, great. But if you want to use them and kind of piece them together, obviously the weekends are getting bigger and bigger as we lead up to the Kentucky Derby, and so the racing is going to be bigger. So it makes it a little bit easier, more fun to do these. One great example that we'll look at just real quick is race number 2, and I think that's a really good example of why we're a little different And what, a lot of times I like the 4 Castle Warden. That's your win bet there. I liked the horse, but I was a little nervous about the first time starting of the horse, and instead I did a complete flip and decided, you know what, I like the 5 Kings Glory a lot too. This horse is going to be much better value. Let me play a win bet on him versus a win bet on the 4. Whereas a lot of times I think we would have just said, you know what, we'll just go ahead and play a win bet on the 4 and call it a day, because we do both like the horse. Whereas here, my strategy is quite different than yours.
Absolutely. And if we were doing it together, we might play a 4 or 5 straight exacta. And then what if it comes in 5-4? And then one guy's pissed and one guy's, upset because he didn't bet the win. And the other guy's pissed because, well, I like that 5 to win. So again, it makes more sense to do it this way. Anytime handicapping betting, it's all a work in progress. And, we really sat down after the Fountain of Youth guide. And we're like, okay, we've done these guides the same for a long, long time. Let's try to look at this a little bit different. And let's look at this from the standpoint of, what if I was buying this? What would I want from it? Would I necessarily want analysis on the 6th horse that we like in the race? Probably not. I would just want to know, what are you betting? What is this guy like? What does he not like? And go on to the next race. So that's kind of the idea behind it. So like I said, hopefully you guys like this. Hopefully this is something that's going to be very popular for you guys. And because obviously that's why we're doing it. So we feel pretty strongly about this. The other big thing, and you mentioned it, but I'll go ahead and reiterate it. Total ROI. What have we done as far as stats go? Week after week, that's going to get updated. We're going to keep track of that. You're going to have a really good, kind of outline week after week of, hey, is this guy hot? Is this guy, what's he done? And I think that's really important as well. Keep stats on this, keep track of how we're doing. And that way the better, and the people that are buying the guide have a really good idea of, hey, maybe this guy was hot for 3 weeks and now he's cooled off. Maybe I can jump ship over to the other one. So gonna be really good about keeping stats about it as well.
Yeah, for sure. And you see there, like, total ROI, that's pretty self-explanatory. Last 5, that's going to be like the last 5 bets that we've made, how we've done. So if someone's hot or cold. Again, as we move forward with this, we can add things to that, like, exacta ROIs, trifecta ROIs, win ROIs, those kind of bets that we're making, and you can get a really good, analysis or an idea of who's doing what and who's doing well and things like that. So again, the Betting Bible, racingdudes.com. Make sure you go to the premium products page. It's the Get Racing Dudes Premium. Go there. You can find the Betting Bible available right now. I believe it's like 10 pages of analysis of Saturday's complete card. There's like 15 races on the Fairgrounds card on Saturday. Of course, the Louisiana Derby, we've got all kinds of picks and analysis. The way we approached that race, I thought was very interesting. And all that's included within this thing. Huge day this Saturday, the Betting Bible. Make sure you go get your hands on that right now. I'm Jared Welch. He's Aaron Halterman. Go get it. Hopefully we do well. Thanks, guys.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best free picks for every race, every track across the country. We're ramping up for the 2023 Kentucky Derby, and we want you to join us in the fun. Subscribe to Racing Dudes YouTube channel and click the notification bell so you never miss a single video. Want to make money betting horses? Bet with the Racing Dudes.